I feel like I had a great high school wrestling coach in Joe Campo. I was recruited to Iowa State University and went out on a recruiting trip. Really liked what I saw, and so I ended up signing for a full scholarship to Iowa State University. Little did I know at the time that it was the best college wrestling program in the country, so I feel like I really lucked out in that I ended up at Iowa State at that time. During the time I was at Iowa State, the team won 3 NCAA tournaments, and in the year that we didn't win, which was my junior year in college, we finished second. I had the great fortune of being on the same team as Dan Gable. After I finished my eligibility, I had another year to go to get my degree. And so in 1973, after finishing up my eligibility and getting my degree from Iowa State, the head coach came up to me and asked me if I wanted to be an assistant coach at Iowa State. And obviously the answer to that was absolutely. There's absolutely no question about that. My experience in the sport tells me that there's no better activity than wrestling that teaches you how to compete in the game of life. My life has pretty much been defined by my involvement in wrestling. For me, being involved and knowing how good I would be in the sport of wrestling, it was almost like it was a byproduct of my relationship with my coaches, my dad, and my family. So the attitude was, you're supposed to win. And so that was the attitude I had from day one, and it never left. I like Coach Nichols. He kind of reminded me of my high school coach, and I didn't know anything about who Gable was. You know, I just know that I was going to go to college, and I was going to wrestle in college. And it was the best possible decision I've made in my life. And this is not even to be cocky, but this is just the way I felt. I'm making the team. Someone's giving up a spot. There was absolutely no question in my mind about that. And that's always been my approach to competing. Well, I was the first true freshman to be an All-American in the history of the sport as a true freshman at the NCAA tournament in Provo, Utah. That was the first year that freshmen were allowed to compete at the NCAA tournament. I was trying to stall with 9 seconds to go in the match that I lost against a kid from Oregon State, and he took me down. So the lesson was, don't try to stall with 9 seconds to go. When I arrived at Iowa State as a freshman, we started practices the first week of practice. And Dan really didn't show up until about 2 weeks, maybe even 3 weeks later, because, you know, they had the Olympics going, and I'm sure he was probably at the Olympic training camp, you know, as a workout partner, because he tried out in '68. He met Bobby Douglas in the finals, and Bobby Douglas beat him out for the team. But the first time I met Dan, we were all in the wrestling room, true story here, and Dan shows up, and he comes in the room. I kind of caught him out of the corner of my eye, and he's walking straight towards me. And so I'm thinking, you know, he's probably going to veer off and grab one of the older guys. He kept walking straight towards me. And so he gets right in front of me, and he goes, "You want to go?" So I
did you know who it was at the time?
Yeah, I sort of figured that was the Dan Gable. But when I first saw him, I'm like, boy, you know, he doesn't look like anything to write home about.
Right.
Looks like a little boy, you know, a little boyish face. He didn't look overpowering, but so he came straight towards me. He goes, "You want to go?" And I said, "Sure." So we got up and we went at it. Now, the first takedowns, as I remember it. I think I scored on him. And after that, it was all downhill.
Yeah.
And I say that because Dan would get you so tired, you couldn't do anything. You know, you couldn't even feel your body parts. And as a freshman, I never felt anything like the fire that he brought. And so we probably went for about 10 minutes or so, and excuse my French, but he was kicking my ass. I was tired.
Sure.
I had never been that tired in my entire life.